Welcome to motherfucking Detroit, goddammit. Wonder Boy. Shit.
Pusher and Severin.
Severin's a tough kid, boy, out of Florida. The Pusher's certainly in it. Up to his neck with this guy. And he's a veteran, knows how to fight. And Ward back in Denver. Look out, here we go. Murphy drops him.
Marionov and Forsberg away from the play. And now Darren McCarty gets his shots in at Claude Lemieux. And look who came all the way out to try to help. Patrick Roy. Vernon and Waugh. Mike Vernon with a great left. Follows up with the right. And he is being helped into the locker room. Took the helmet off and got a shot or two in. And that's when Waugh came to Lemieux's rescue. And look at who stepped in on Patrick Waugh. Brendan Shanahan.
We have arrived at MGM Grand Detroit. Derek and Jeff.
We got you guys checked in.
We called in ahead of time like pros. We're first on the list. We get a seat immediately at the 2-5 no limit game. Dealer. How's it going?
Fancy meeting you.
4 games running. We're on the must-move game. Sit down, and to my direct right is a gentleman that looks like a reg. He's wearing a Detroit hat. Let's play some poker. We're 5-handed. A few people are walking around. Third man walking rule doesn't apply in the D, apparently. So when the action goes under the gun limps, cutoff makes it 25. I'm on the button with ace-queen offsuit. $500. I think it's time for that warm 3-bet. $75 to go. Limper folds. Guy in the Detroit hat on my right thinks about it, shows king queen off, and makes a disciplined fold. We'll take it. No rake. Take it down.
All right, so we are playing some 2-5 no limit hold'em in Detroit, Michigan, and we are in the big blind, and we look down at nothing else but pocket aces with Mr. Boski on our left, and he decides to open under the gun $15. We are 5-handed at this time. Under the gun 1, call for 15. Action pretty quickly folds around to us. Kind of worried that we're not going to get any action with the aces, but just in case our opponents happen to have something worthy of calling, I think 75 should be spot on, so we place the 3-bet for $75. However, both opponents fold. We did give Jeff a look at the aces, so.
I folded 7s. Read them like a book. Maybe should have set mine. Maybe if I bought in like for 1,000 like a man, I could have set mine. But I bought in for 500 because I'm scared money. Tournament player. Nice hand to him. And we are joined by none other than Detroit Poker. Check him out on YouTube. Great in-depth hand analysis for cash games in the Detroit area.
I generally upload approximately once per week, so you should definitely consider subscribing.
25.
With blinds at $2, $5, I come back from the bathroom break and pick up a couple slices of pizza. I'm waiting for my big blind. Big blind comes around, I got a slice left. Of course, I have napkin in the left hand holding the crust. My right hand is completely clean. Proper pizza etiquette. When I go to post my big blind, the dealer looks at me and says, "Sorry, sir, you can't play poker while eating pizza." I laugh and shrug him off, and he pushes my blind back and says, "Sorry, sir, no pizza at the table." Never heard this rule before, and I'm starting to believe him. Detroit Poker on my left confirms, and I got to put the pizza away. We get dealt in. There's a button straddle. Small blind folds I complete with ace-10 of spades. Middle position calls. Older reg raises to 40 in the cutoff. Straddle folds, we put in the call, other guy calls, with 3 ways to a flop. The flop comes 9, 6, 3, 2 spades. Pretty good flop for our hand. We have about 550 in our stack. We check it to the raiser, who bets 65. I mean, calling is definitely reasonable, but we're out of position. And how are we going to handle turn barrels? I think the best move is to take the initiative, facing the 65 bet, just under 3x, setting up a turn jam. I make it $175, 2 overs, nut flush draw. Maybe I can get him to fold out, all of his ace king, ace queens, maybe even pocket 10s plus, because I'm repping a set. That's right, a set. This is how I'd play a set. Let's rep it. Middle position eventually folds, and original raiser folds and flashes a 10. I think he had pocket 10s. We get one through.
Do you want to play 1-2? Table number 6, please have Brian on your left move. JP is on page, open seat 2-5
Can't be bad. No, well, maybe a little.
Look at him now.
No, man. Goofy. He's a goofy cat, man. He is.
Every day is like easier for me.
Yeah.
11 years ago I quit. With blinds at $2, $5, I'm under the gun +1 with ace, jack of diamonds, making a standard open to 20. Started this hand with $600 approximately. Middle position calls, and very loose player calls from the big blind. 3 ways to a flop. The flop comes 9, 6, 3, 1 diamond. Checks to us. Could see bet here, but decided to check it this time. Button checks behind. Ace high probably good. My concern is the big blind range is very tricky. He's going to check raise a lot of straight draws, and definitely not going to be folding any pairs. So our seed bet probably not that profitable against this player type. And of course, the caller can have a lot of mid pairs that are not going anywhere. Although ace jack does present some good barrel opportunities if we turn a jack, ace, or diamond. But as played, we're seeing a turn, which is the 6 of diamonds, pairing the board. Pretty good card for us. Eliminates a lot of combos of 6x our opponents can have. Checks to us again. I think about betting, but I think we get to easy showdown or get a disguised flush on the river. So I check again, planning on continuing. Original flatter puts out a bet of $50, and the maniac in the big blind goes for it once again. He makes it $150. What's he repping? 6x? Pretty unlikely. He knows that the original flatter has very little 6s in his range, and it looks like I gave up. This is what he's been doing all night. He's making a play. Our nittiness, persistence, and dedication is going to pay off in this spot. We're going for the rare cold jam after the double check, flop, and turn. If called, we should still have flush outs unless they've already boated, but I don't think either of them has a boat. Pocket 3s, pocket 6s, and pocket 9s are very unlikely. We line up our chips, and we actually fold. We did not pull the trigger. $50 better folds. I beg the big blind to show the bluff, to prove my read was right, even though I didn't follow through on it. Oh, show the bluff. Show the bluff.
I'm not coming to miss the bluff.
You got it? Let's see the bluff. And he shows ace 6 suited.
Nice hand. Nice.
That's not a bluff at all, man. That's not a bluff.
I thought you were bluffing.
If he had the trips, he wouldn't have folded to a jam. Good thing. We probably wouldn't have hit our flush. And we move on to the next 2-5 no limit hand at the MGM.
That's
I would normally have it, right? and we rack up $730, net profit of $230 at the MGM Detroit. Good session overall, pretty decent room. I'll be back when I come back to Michigan. Stay tuned for the next episode. It might be cash, it might be tournament, you never know. I keep you on your toes, only on Jeff Boski Poker.